Okay, today is we're on lesson 68 of the workbook of A Course in Miracles in this one-year journey that we are taking together. And I can't actually believe I'm still with you. I didn't think I would last this long, actually. Love holds no grievances. There's a concept in A Course in Miracles that when you understand and use it correctly, I think goes hand in hand with this lesson. And the idea that the Course is teaching you is that first you forgive and then you understand. You don't understand until you forgive. And as with everything, what Jesus is presenting to us is the upside down nature of the way of the thinking and therefore experiencing that is fostered by the ego, as compared to the thinking and experience that is fostered when you begin to utilize not merely the principles, but the activity of the Holy Spirit within your mind in forgiveness and in the ability for you to see miracles occur through you with your brothers. So with the idea that first you forgive and then you understand, reverses the temporal order and the nature of the way we use space and time. So this lesson, Love Holds No Grievances, in a sense, it is the understanding that comes along with the experience of love. I've had numerous occasions in my life when there's been points in time when it was obvious that the understanding that I was attempting to utilize to view the situations and occurrences in my life obviously was not bringing me any peace, and was causing the consternation and the twistedness that we experience as the blocks in our heart and mind to the ability to both be happy and content, loving and kind with ourselves, and therefore with our brothers. So through the utilization of forgiveness and the rationale that goes along with it, which is important. I mean, the rationale that comes along with forgiveness that's taught by A Course in Miracles is that outside of you there is nothing. What you're perceiving is a reflection of your own mind. The reflection of your own mind is designed to allow you to help heal your mind of the misperceptions that you're holding about yourself, the nature of your creation and relationship to your Creator, and therefore the nature of your relationship with your brothers and yourself as well. And it turns it around inside out and upside down. Compared to, I mean, it writes it from the upside down nature that it's presented to us by the egoic thinking, by identifying with the ego. So there obviously comes times in all of our life when we're viewing situations in our life in a particular way that are causing us to not feel quite okay about ourselves or within ourselves, and attempt to justify the thinking that we're using to not feel okay about ourselves and our brother, to come up with a rationale that allows us to keep the grievance, yet be okay with the keeping of the grievance, and it'll never work. And that's obviously true, and many of you know that already. We attempt to validate our thinking by looking outside of ourselves for proof that we need to hold on to that type of thinking in order to protect the identity and the image that we're utilizing to make our way through this world of space and time. And this lesson is going to tell you that none of it is true and none of it is necessary. In fact, if you want to know who you are in reality, and when I say if you want to know who you are in reality, I'm not talking about having to go any place to do that. I'm talking about aligning and converging with the will of God and His creation of you. Love created me as itself, like itself. So if you want to know yourself as love created you, then you have to begin to eliminate the grievances in your life that you're utilizing to justify the feelings of attack, the feelings of being victimized, and the feelings that there's something to overcome here, and that there's things in the way that conspiracy theories that are attempting to justify a world against you. You who are created by love, like itself, can hold no grievances and know yourself. It's really that simple. To hold a grievance is to forget who you are. To hold a grievance is to see yourself as a body. It is the decision to let the ego rule your mind and condemn the body to death. And, isn't that our great fear as egos, as bodies? Oh no, I'm going to die. What do I do about it? Well, this is exactly what you're being told you can do about it. So, in the holding of the grievance, and you all know when you're holding them and when you're having them, and the utilization of forgiveness to restore yourself to sanity and to understand the situation, because quite frankly, you cannot hold a grievance and be grateful at the same time. And there's much more joy and freedom and life and love in an attitude and experience of gratitude than there is in the stingy nature and the repression that comes along with attempting to hold a grievance and justify yourself as being rightfully entitled to that holding of the grievance, which in effect withholds love from you and keeps you from being able to express love to anyone else. And when we're turned around in this, which this lesson deals with the great motivation that we have and we receive when we begin to utilize this action of mind called forgiveness to no longer hold the grievance. Number one is we feel much freer within our own self and within the world. We're capable of looking out through the eyes of love because we're experiencing love and gratitude within ourselves, and that means we're in alignment with the source of love and the source of all gratitude, the source of everything. The abundance of love is our creative reality and our entitlement. So when we're in the experience of gratitude and no longer holding grievance, we're much freer within our own relationship and association with ourselves and all the world. And likewise, through the action of forgiveness, we have a right-minded understanding as to what has been going on and why it has been going on. And I'm going to say this, what happens in a moment of forgiveness is you recognize that everyone played the part exactly as they were required to play the part in order for you to have a block to the awareness of love's understanding arise in your heart and your mind in order for it to be forgiven, and in order for you to begin to understand that the entire nature of the world is a place where we've come to learn a lesson that we need to learn to replace the horror and the thinking that is an effect of believing we're separate from our source. It's really that simple. It reframes, in a sense, the entire relationship that we have with ourselves, with our Creator, and with the world around us. So we learn that the world and our bodies, our identities, are merely a learning and teaching device, a teaching and learning device. And you can see from your own experience here in space and time that when you begin to master what it is you're learning, the teaching devices themselves fall behind because they're no longer necessary. and they no longer hold value. Yet, within your own heart and mind, you retain the gratitude for the ability that they gave you to help you learn the lessons that brought you the mastership of your own craft. And that's what's occurring here and now for all of us. We're learning to master the craft of being who we are as God created us in order to return ourselves to our natural, divine, true, whole, perfect nature. And as we do that, the classroom that we've been utilizing gently rolls up behind us like a carpet, so that when we're finished, there's no longer any necessity for the carpet at all. And as the old man said, the old man used to try to talk about it as he was the drill sergeant. And when we graduated from here, we would go and choose our assignments. Some were going to fly jets, some were gonna pilot spaceships, but you can go on to take your rightful place in the universe of universes and begin to be as God created you in that reality, because you no longer have to learn anything from the constrictive nature of space-time and the limitations that it seems to present. And the way we do that is by releasing the grievances through forgiveness and learning that all things have been taking part in this, let's call it, happy game of salvation, wherein we recognize that had anything ever been different, we would not have had the ability to learn who we are and heal our mind and heart of the idea of separation, which weighs so heavily upon the separated brotherhood, the separated sonship. So perhaps you do not yet fully realize just what holding grievances does to your awareness. It seems to split you off from your source and make you unlike him. It makes you believe that he is like what you think you have become, for no one can conceive of his creator as unlike himself. And it's right there where you see the great turnaround. It's right there when you see that the nature of the association of mind that is what we brought with us here when we came is upside down and backwards compared to the truth of what this is given us for when we become right-minded in our perspective in all of our affairs. And as we forgive and learn to release the grievance, not just let it go in the sense that you're not going to have it affect you, to utilize the grievance as a way to understanding, to utilize forgiveness, to first forgive and then you understand. And for many of you who are having those experiences already, you can remember how in your mind, when you came upon one of these many grievances that you were holding, and you looked at it with the Holy Spirit, and in that moment it was reversed and you saw the lesson that was afforded you by the situation itself. The experience is one of profound understanding of what's occurring, as well as gratitude for everything that has taken part. And what's taken part is the entire universe, because nothing is separate from anything else. Everything is held within an interlocking web of love. And it is your great discovery to know that you are that love and you can utilize everything. All things work together for the good when we utilize the right-minded thinking that comes with the many motivational opportunities that we're given in forgiveness. Jesus says, perhaps you're unaware of how many times you've been given to make yourself happy. Every instant is the ability to utilize space and time for a purpose, not within space and time, but within you. And that purpose is to come to know yourself, to learn of yourself as being created like love itself by love itself. Um, this is the one that I want to get to down here. Perhaps you do not think you can let all your grievances go. That, however, is simply a question of motivation. Today, we will try to find out how you would feel without them. If you succeed even by so little, even by ever so little, there will be no problem in motivation again, because you'll see the freedom and joy that brings to you when you utilize forgiveness, which is joining with the light and love of the spirit of wholeness or holiness, which connects us all. So when we utilize the Holy Spirit, what occurs is we become joined with everything once again, and in that instant we're restored to sanity, the sanity of understanding who we are and who everyone else is along with us, both who they are within space and time and why it was all given to us this way, as well as who we are in reality and why we can allow the gratitude or the holiness of that instant to lead us back into our own true, eternal, and infinite nature. So if you're following along with me, one real, true, incredibly motivational experience of forgiveness will show you the great benefit that you could have through the constant and consistent utilization for it, as well as how it will afford you a right-minded perspective as you look upon the world, so as to no longer have to hold grievances at all, because you're seeing things rightly. And with that mind, it becomes, that's where Jesus says, you become less and less tolerant of those moments of love lack, those moments that lack love, because it begins to disturb you more readily and more easily, and you become how should I say this? You've become grateful in the experience of being able to walk around with the peace of God in your mind and your heart. So you no longer want that disturbed, because you're enjoying your life as being able to love yourself, not be afraid of your creator, and not be afraid of your brothers, or that there's anything to lose at all here. And there's nothing to protect. A lot of times in my life, and there's a gentleman in Australia who invited me to Australia and then made a grievance against me and actually wrote a book. And when I saw the book, it was a lot of things that were wrong in the book. So I got in touch with him with in a sense, an alias, discussed the book with him, and he never knew it was me, to help him so he could write it and allow it to come out without having have a sense of being libelous in the book. And he never knew it for years and years later, and he still has no idea what to say about it. But I read the book 3 times, and it was lambasting me all over the place. But the truth of the matter is, it helped me understand how other people were seeing me, and it also helped me understand the nature of being transparent in all my affairs and all my actions, and not having anything to hide, no matter what it was. It was helpful for the healing of my mind. And I don't know how helpful it was when he found out who it was that had helped him, clean the book up so that he could put it out for sale. But certainly I saw that I was not going to be able to stop this from occurring. And if I wanted to accept all things as they were, the sooner that it occurred, the better, because I no longer have to postpone the healing of my mind. And in the transparency and the honesty, we become innocent. We become innocent and capable of looking at all of our brothers as innocent, because they're actually aiding and abetting us in the healing of our mind. I would see you as my friend, that I may remember you are part of me and come to know myself. Love holds no grievances. When I let all my grievances go, I will know I am perfectly safe. And wouldn't that be a better way to live in this world? So learn to not be afraid of the grievances in your mind. Don't resist the temptation or the evil that seems to be involved. Utilize forgiveness to understand what's occurring, and love holds no grievances, and you will not betray yourself. You will not betray the truth of who you are, that self, even in the world where betrayal seems to be the way of the world. So you go out, don't hold any grievances. Or if you're going to hold them, hold one big grievance against the entire universe. And when you forgive that, you'll find yourself safe at home where you've always been, in a condition of love and being grateful for everything it took in order for you to find your way back.